TonySheldon, the National Secretary of the Transport Workers Union and proudly the elected representative of 90,000 Australian truck drivers and road workers that are fighting for a fair system to hold clients accountable in one of the most dangerous industries in our country. 13 times the national average of deaths in our sector. And all that's due to the pressure that applies to truck drivers, the economic pressure by big, powerful clients that are making a heck of a lot of money out of the fact that our members are being killed and maimed just to meet their greed of these companies to make a bigger and bigger profit. So many people in our communities are being maimed, workers are being killed as a result of this undue pressure, economic pressure that applies from these very powerful clients. What's critically important, and that is that there's many tools that can be used to win this struggle. And one of those tools is to make sure we have the legislative support to put legislation through to hold these very powerful clients accountable for the unsafe payments and unsafe practices that apply in the companies that engage us, that are engaged by these clients. We have to have the capacity to turn around and put onto the politicians, onto the community, onto clients, and the rest of our members in the industry and potential members. And it's a struggle to make sure that our politicians stand up to make this country in Australia and countries around the world more accountable to client pressure, more accountable to the demands of having a fair workplace, and more accountable to make sure that people can get home after a hard day's work to their loved ones. Well, congratulations on many of you that have come out today to demonstrate your determination to give your families a decent environment and your work colleagues, but also saying to politicians and the rest of the community, this is something for everybody. For us in Australia, so many of our workers have demonstrated, gone on strike, and demanded of our politicians, clients and transport companies, and engaged the community about the struggle to make sure that our roads are safer by making sure that we get paid better rates, better safety and better conditions by holding very powerful clients that influence our politicians accountable. This is the struggle about making sure that we can make our lives and our work colleagues and the community safer on our roads, to have a decent living, be able to go home safely to our friends, our loved ones and our communities, and be able to say that we're going to struggle and fight for that to happen. The legislation is such a critical piece of that tool, and the battle is about making sure that clients apply that tool, and the fight goes beyond the legislation, with the legislation and at the legislation. Australian truck drivers are so very much like the struggle that you're facing now, and so much like yourselves, and that is Australia. Our members very strongly endorse the actions you're taking and give complete solidarity to your struggle and your action today. We know it's fundamentally important. Your struggle is ours. Your struggle to stand up convinces our governments and so many drivers in our country to have the courage to continue to struggle, both to improve, to keep and to fight for legislation, but also to make sure the clients are accountable. They can only be accountable by direct action and by the strength of so many truck drivers standing up. Your actions today goes well for the fight for justice for all transport workers in South Korea, Australia and across the world.